The frustration is showing on Joe Fleming's face. It's time to end the losing. It's time to stop the run. Iptun Kara got his chance Monday and made it memorable with 4 catches and 2 touchdowns.
But if Fred Perry has his say, Sankey may not get a chance to find Tunkara. Perry power is tough to stop. And if the Esks need the deep ball, they dial 1-800-HERVY, and when they do, they call collect. Hervey is collecting touchdowns.
Fresh from their 3rd straight Labor Day victory in Calgary, the Eskimos look to sweep this annual series for the 2nd straight season. The Stamps are near desperate for success after 5 straight losses to the Eskimos, and it's always tough here.
It's currently 15 degrees Celsius. The wind is northwest at 28 kilometers per hour, but the forecast is for 0 later tonight, which could mean more teeth chattering than usual from the crew down there in the tent.
A perfect night for September football. There has never been a year quite like this in Wally Buono's 12 seasons on the Stampeders sidelines. 6 losses, including 2 by a single point in 9 games. And Buono's team is battling to avoid last instead of fighting for first.
Tom Higgins has slowly put the pieces of the puzzle together. Labor Day snapped a 3-game losing streak. He has his running back he's looking for in Ron Williams. The starting quarterback is Jason Moss. His team is poised to take first in the West.
And here's the hero of last Monday's game. As far as the Eskimos are concerned, Sean Fleming nailed the winner with zeros on the clock to give Edmonton the Labor Day victory. Antonio Warren deep for the Calgary Stampeders, who look for a quick start here on the wonderful grass at Commonwealth tonight. White pants for the Eskimos. They had white jerseys and white pants, all white in Calgary Monday. What do you think?
Well, as long as they're winning, I know they're happy. And they have a 1-game winning streak, so that's all that matters to them.
So these are lucky pants, is what you're telling me. Antonio Warren beginning for the Stampeders. And they try the reverse this time. Coming to the near side, it's Bo Richter with a head of steam. He's out across midfield and finally dragged out by Frederick Lewis. A little razzle-dazzle for the Stampeders and a 48-yard return. We said they needed a quick start. This might help.
Oh, what a great way to start the football game. Little razzle-dazzle on the special teams. Reverse to Mark Bo Richter. During this short week for the Calgary Stampeders and Edmonton, you don't get a lot of chance to change much. You can put some wrinkles in the special teams.
Ben Sankey started the season as Calgary's #1 quarterback. He lasted less than a half. He's better, and he's back for the Stampeders' most important game of the season. On first down, Sankey far side. He has his target. Aubrey Cummings will have a Calgary first down. So Sankey has Travis Moore and Mark Bo Richter as his key guys in the Calgary passing game. Vince Danielson is out of the lineup. Running back Kelvin Anderson rushed for another 100 last week. Behind a huge offensive line, it's Childress and Crysdale and company up front for the Stampeders as per usual. A 16-yard gain for Calgary, setting the Stampeders up at the Eskimo 31-yard line. First down again. Kelvin Anderson's first carry, and he ran into A.J. Gass after a gain of 3.
Defensively for the Edmonton Eskimos, Singor Mobley and Terry Ray are linebackers, but you'll see them at free safety sometime tonight. And in the secondary, their starting free safety is Ralph Staten. Chris Hardy moves to the backup role for tonight's game.
Remember that old baseball line, who's on first?
Who's playing free?
Who's playing free here for the Eskimos tonight as we watch this lineup? It's Ralph Staten as the starter back there, but they'll try and confuse the Stampeders. Calgary looking at 2nd and 7, complete far side. Travis Moore's first catch of the ball game. And he gets extra yards after making the catch. Finally wrestled out inside the 20.
Well, look to see Ben Sankey not only throw the football the way he is right now, but also use his legs a lot throughout this game. That's what he did on Labor Day, as you see Terry Ray going on the blitz, number 28, right up the middle. Sankey reads it perfectly, throws it to the quick man on the outside, Aubrey Cummings. But look for him all night long to use his legs, and there's Travis Moore's numbers on the year. He should get 1,000 possibly tonight.
Only 1 catch for 13 yards for Moore last Monday. And he already has 15 on his first catch here tonight. Kelvin Anderson ran well on Labor Day, and he ran into Doug Peterson there. Peterson still bothered by a few nagging injuries.
Yeah, Doug Peterson anchors the middle, and they really need him to come up with a big game. This is a team that ranks 6th versus the run, 8th versus the pass defensively. He's the leader. He's the leader right in the middle.
And played it well there to limit the gain to 1 yard. 2nd and 9 Stampeders driving impressively so far on the first offensive sequence at Commonwealth tonight. Sankey shotgun. Nice fake. There's the toss to the corner, and flags are going to have to fly on the coverage by Perry Carter on Aubrey Cummings. He wrestled him to the ground.
First of all, this is that bunch formation. As you can see, 3 receivers. They have 3 options off this play. This is the 3rd option. No question, Perry Carter with the hands all over Aubrey Cummings in the end zone. That'll put it on the 1 yard line.
Did Carter have a choice?
Well, he had pretty good position. I don't know that he had to grab the way he did, but the point of attack with the ball in the air and the receiver in the end zone, that can happen at times.
Sometimes it does. So the Stampeders have 3 cracks at it from the 1 yard line. Will they need all 3?
Oh, what a hit.
Well, they'll need 2. It was Perry coming over. Scott Diebert.
Well, Diebert was hit right at the point of attack by Fred Perry. Watch the contact right there. That's a little Perry power for you. He has been their best defensive lineman all season long.
5 sacks, 30 tackles on the season. 5 tackles and a couple of sacks last week for Fred Perry. Kelvin Anderson, and he may not make it either.
Oh, they're giving it to him.
Well, it was a late signal down there, Glenn.
It was
finally they have ruled touchdown.
It was very late, and it was the 2nd effort from Calvin Anderson that got him over the line. Because you were absolutely right. At the point of attack, he was stopped in his tracks. You see A.J. Gass and Singor Mobley stand their man up, and it was that 2nd effort when he's peeled off the back of the pile and just put that football over the line.
So Kelvin Anderson from 1 yard out, and a hot start for the Stampeders. The opening drive ends up in the Eskimo end zone. Mark McLaughlin makes it 7-0. Here's the touchdown run by Kelvin Anderson. Tough slugging, but he just makes it over the line.
Want to win $1 million? Shop and swipe your Safeway Club card for automatic $1 million touchdown to win entry. If your name appears, you could win $1 million if 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns in today's game. Shop and swipe at Safeway today.
And only his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season, and we're at the midway point.
Well, he's putting the yards up. Just kind of gets forgotten in the offense when they get down on the goal line for some reason this year.
That happened last week and caused a little criticism of the Stampeders' offensive plans late in the game against the Eskimos. Anderson got Calgary deep into Edmonton territory, and they didn't go to him. This is a former Stampeder, Darren Hall, in his first appearance as an Eskimo. Well covered by Edmonton's special teams, and the return is limited to 4 yards. There's no doubt who's number 1 in Edmonton now. Jason Moss had a superb game against the Stampeders on Monday. 9 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. He's playing with a great deal of confidence.
How about the drive? Less than a minute to go in Labor Day. He goes 57 yards, 6 plays later to set up the winning field goal.
Yeah, and then carries it the final 23 yards himself, or they wouldn't have had a shot at the field goal. Ronald Williams breaks one, and a couple after that. He's out to the 40 for a first down, Edmonton. Anthony Pryor finally got over to make the tackle. Ed Hervey and Terry Vaughn are the Eskimos' top receivers. Vaughn leads the league with 60 catches. It's the 2nd game for running back Ronald Williams in Edmonton. He had 99 yards behind Bruce Beaton and the boys on Monday in Calgary.
What a difference Ron Williams can make to this offense. 99 yards on Monday, but he provided tons of balance.
13 yards for Ronald Williams on his first carry. His second will not be as successful. Just 2 that time.
Defensively for Calgary up front, it's Joe Fleming and James Cotton. They've combined for 10 sacks, which is about half of their team's total output on the season. And the safety, Greg Frères, is playing with a sore right calf muscle. Bothered him a little bit on Monday. See if it bothers him here tonight.
Starting lineups are brought to you by Midas. Keep a good thing going. Go Midas.
The key for this defense on Calgary, the panel guys talked about it. Stop the run in the middle, and that's up to Joe Fleming.
Moss got hit by Alondra Johnson just as he got set to throw the ball.
Well, Alondra Johnson basically has traded places with Ray Jacobs. He came out to the outside, and Jacobs went back into the middle on the blitz. You're going to see there's this one. Jacobs is going to slip through this gap. Watch him take a step and go around, completely confusing Bruce Beaton, and down goes Jason Moss, and he was shaken up a little bit coming off the field.
So Moss being tended to at the Eskimo bench. We'll check in on that with Ken Chillibeck and find out what the problem might be. Here's Sean Fleming's first kick. Antonio Warren waits at the 25. Decent return out across the 35 to about the 37 for a 12-yard return. Here's Jason Moss meeting Alondra Johnson. And the quarterback gets the worst of it, as usual.
They're going to put Calgary in a bind, and you got to love this battle. I mean, words cannot describe the battle between these two teams.
Well, and it is tough on quarterback. Sankey is in because Marcus Crandall got hurt last week, and here's the heat on Sankey. Got it away, and a huge hit on the receiver at the 35-yard line. Anderson made the catch, and the loss will be 2 yards.
That's why you can't describe the battle between these two teams, because it is such a physical battle. Singor Mobley coming on the blitz up the middle. Peterson flushes him outside, and watch the hit just at the bottom of your screen there. A.J. Gass on Kelvin Anderson. They are flying around.
Tremendous intensity whenever these two teams meet, but the season really starts on the Labor Day weekend in Calgary, and then this rematch 5 days later. Picked up by Travis Moore, and Moore is finally run out by Shannon Garrett. So Travis Moore with a huge catch here for the Stampeders, who have started very quickly in this one tonight.
Ben Sankey is seeing something that he saw at the end of Monday's game versus Edmonton, and that's Terry Ray dropping back into the free safety position. He is the linebacker, number 28. This time, though, Ben Sankey reads it, and he goes to the right read, which is outside to Travis Moore. And again, you see how using his legs can help him get some more time. And there's Travis Moore. You've got to tackle that guy. No question.
Yards after catch. A huge part of his repertoire. His second of the night. He has 53 yards so far. And that reception netted the Stampeders 38. Here's Kelvin Anderson. Squirting through for 3, maybe 4 yards.
This is what Ben Sankey will see a lot of tonight. He's going to put this bunch offense out there for the Calgary Stampeders. And what I'm saying is 3 receivers, Bo Richter, Travis Moore, they all come inside. So George Cortez has the receivers in there to block for Kelvin Anderson. He's option number 1. Option number 2 is a reverse to one of those receivers. They can also play action pass and throw it out of that formation.
Well, Kelvin Anderson picked up an extra couple under that pile. The gain is 6, making it 2nd and 4. Nice play action fake. This is Bo Richter, and the Eskimos are not fooled by a little reverse that time. It worked on the opening kickoff.
There is option number 2 out of that formation, though. The first option is the one we saw on first down. Kelvin Anderson up the middle. This time Cortez decides to go with option 2, which is reverse to this time it's Mark Bo Richter. Now option 3 involves Tunkara. That's the throw.
Was that play a little slow in developing?
Well, you know one thing. The Edmonton Eskimos saw this on film all week, well, in 3 days of a short week. And they're ready for it. Now, did Cortez bring option number 4 along?
Well, we may find that out. That's why we're here, isn't it? McLaughlin tries this field goal, and he's wide, just to the right. Aaron Hall takes it out, and he trips over the 5-yard line. He's pinned at the 7. Hall had a pretty good head of steam up, but he slipped, making his cut. So the Eskimos decide not to give up the single point, but they'll start deep in their own zone at the 7.
Well, Calgary defensively have come with some pressure early in this game. We saw the big hit on Alondra Johnson. Jason Moss went out limping a little bit. This is the blitz in the first series of the game for the Edmonton Eskimos. Alondra Johnson off the edge. He gets home free without being blocked, but Moss looks like he's okay.
Back in the game with 9 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions. Playing a key role for the Eskimos in recent success. Moss to his left. That's a wobbler. And Rick Walters was the intended target. It was not near him.
Well, Rick Walters was wide open, but Jason Moss right now is being rushed. You saw the hit from Alondra Johnson. That last time, Joe Fleming had pressure. Nealon Green's been warming up.
Yeah, but here's why Green has been relegated to number 2. 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah, well, Jason Moss basically took over this offense in week 3 versus the Calgary Stampeders, and he really hasn't looked back. Of course, the great game on Monday.
2nd and 10 Eskimos from the 7. Hervey has his first catch out at the 20. It's for 13 yards.
Again, Jason Moss under pressure. He had to throw that football before Ed Hervey even turned around. You see some pressure coming. There's Alondra Johnson finding the hole and getting right in the face of Jason Moss. He let go of that football. Ed Hervey didn't turn around till right there, and the ball arrived at that same moment.
And Ricky Bell was right there as well. That gets the Eskimos out at the 20-yard line. And adds a few more options. Ronald Williams. Not much there for Williams.
Well, we mentioned Ron Williams with 99 yards in his first game as an Edmonton Eskimo. And, you know, when I watched him with that helmet on, he reminded me of some of the big backs the Edmonton Eskimos have had in the past. Guys like
Jim Germany,
Blake Marshall, Michael Souls, big, powerful running backs. You get a 5.2-yard average running the football. Boy, you're putting your quarterback in a great situation.
2nd and 10. Moss from the shotgun, near side. They call it a catch for Quincy Jackson, number 6. It'll be a 13-yard gain, and the Eskimos move the yardsticks again.
Watch the concentration, number 6, Quincy Jackson, because Anthony Pryor comes underneath here and really is distracting Quincy Jackson more than anything, but Jackson keeps concentration on that football and keeps the foot in bounds.
Regardless of what happens here, Jason Moss has taken the Eskimos out across the 30-yard line. He began this drive at the 7. So they're gaining a little bit back on the Stampeders. Jackson again slipped a tackle. He'll be just a little shy of a first down with a 9-yard gain.
John, it's a great point, because even if this drive should stall any time now, and it doesn't look like it's going to, because Jason Moss starting to carve up that secondary a little bit. A couple passes to Quincy Jackson. But even if it stalls now and they punt, it's not bad. They got out of some bad field position problems.
Quincy Jackson was in camp with the Eskimos, but didn't really pass the physical at that time. He suffered a wrist injury playing in the XFL, so he just really got into the lineup in mid-August. Penalty markers go down. Sean Daniels, the ball carrier.
Sean Daniels gets that run up the middle. Looked like they were setting up
Major
an option.
Foul, face mask, Calgary number 51, first down.
That's on Alondra Johnson. Too many mistakes, too many penalties have really hurt the Stampeders' chances this season. That allows the Eskimos to escape into Calgary territory.
And when you look at the stats, the league stats and penalties, they're 3rd. Calgary Stampeders, which is not terrible, but you know what? It's been the timing of the penalties.
And this
Calgary.
is not, I mean, it's only the first quarter, but it's not a good time to give up a 19-yard net to the Eskimos when they just got their second drive and a little momentum on this offensive side of things. Ronald Williams.
And again, John, it's the balance. And the balance that Ron Williams provides, and that's why the pressure goes on Alondra Johnson and it goes on Joe Fleming up front. Those are the two right down Main Street of this defense that have to shore up the run game and the run stopping game. Mike Roach to the right of your screen, the coordinator, he knows the problems they've had stopping the run.
Well, they're missing Jeff Traversy up front, and I think that's one of the problems that they've had in the last little while.
And it hasn't been because Alondra Johnson's not playing well.
No.
They just have to play well as a group.
7th against the run. That's a little soft, isn't it? Second down and 5. There's a penalty marker down. Moss rolling and finds his receiver, and there's hits at both ends of the field. Alondra Johnson on Jason Moss, and on the receiver as well.
Well, Alondra Johnson's going to get called on the late hit, no question. The first flag looked like it was in the offensive line area, but Alondra Johnson is going to come out because it's called secondary contain, meaning containment has been lost, and he has to come up, but he took 3 steps after that ball was gone when he hit Jason Moss.
Couple of flags for Jake Ireland to explain. And they'll take a little bit of time sorting this out. One of the Calgary defenders is down
Outside,
on the 35.
Calgary number 84. Major foul, roughing the passer. Calgary number 51. Objectionable conduct penalty on the Edmonton bench. First down.
So there's a penalty flag thrown at the Eskimo bench on top of the 2 flags against the Stampeders. Just as we talked about, too many penalties for the Calgary Stampeders, too many mistakes, and the frustration is really starting to show. Greg Frere is the injured Stampeder. He's been battling injury problems for the last couple of games.
It's the most.
Well, Greg Frere has had the calf injury, but this is not the problem on this play. He's going to come up and put a big hit on Rick Walters, who drops the football because of this hit. And he had to regroup after that one. Some cobwebs, but he'll be fine. Simon Fraser guy, he'll be back.
The hitter, not the hittee, shaken up. This drive began for the Eskimos way back at the 7. Calgary leads at 7-0. Moss, well, he flopped, lost his footing, and ended up looking a little seal-like on the play.
Well, that's the one for the meeting room. That's the one you get in the meeting, and everyone has a good chuckle over that if you win. If you don't win, you're shaking your head saying, what happened there, boys? And I think he just tripped over his own player. I believe it was Tim Prince in the center. Was trying to pull and get outside to the right. He just tripped over.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13 Eskimos. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Snap slightly high. Moss brought it down, fires near side, and no catch for Terry Vaughn.
Anthony Pryor read it perfectly, and this is what's called pattern reading for a defensive back. What he's doing, he's looking at both receivers in front of him. This is Kelly Malvo. He sees he's going to drop him off, and Anthony Pryor is going to pick him up. See, Pryor sees that Ed Hervey's going deep. He knows the next pattern is going to be the out, and he jumps it perfectly.
Yeah, that's nice coverage.
Look for Terry Vaughn to turn up as the progression from that pattern and the out and up.
Sean Fleming is in on 3rd and 13. Standing near midfield. Antonio Warren in the dead run and stopped in his tracks. Fired back to the 10-yard line after that. Just 4 on the return as Rob Harrod.
You know what?
Tackle.
Sorry, you know what's great is that it's going to drop to about 0 as the night goes on, and right in here are the guys from Toronto, and they're in there, and this is not the cushy little place they have back there in the studio.
No, did you see this?
They're outdoors now.
They've got makeup on the road. That's not football.
Well,
they're wearing makeup down there.
Well, you know, Dave Randorf, the host, has graciously volunteered to be the makeup person on the road. So he's in down there powdering Chris Schultz's nose as we speak.
Yeah, I still say that's not football.
That's not football, man.
Kelvin Anderson.
That's some football.
That's football. Solid hit by Doug Peterson.
Yeah, that's some football from Doug Peterson.
Umpire Bob Redicop.
Look at 94, slide over there. Make that tackle right at the point of attack, and you won't get a closer look than that right there.
And it's on the brim of the hat of the umpire here tonight.
Not unless you sign a waiver. And we can put you on the field, and you may get a closer look. You better sign that waiver first.
Second down and 8 to go. Stampeders have the lead. Sankey, pump fake. It worked well. Travis Moore has a key Calgary first down with 9 seconds remaining till quarter time. Singer Mobley over to make the tackle after a 25-yard gain. So Moore is hot tonight.
Frederick Lewis tried to jam Travis Moore, and he missed the jam. If you don't get your hands on Travis Moore, he's going to blow by you.
Third catch for 78 yards already in the opening quarter for Travis Moore.
Well, he's in his fight with his old buddy Terry Vaughn to see who can get 1,000 first.
Moore is the number 2 receiver in the league. Vaughn leads the way. He's number 1. Here's Kelvin Anderson, averaging 5.7 yards a carry, slightly over his average there. That's the end of the opening quarter here at Commonwealth, with the Stamps on top by a touchdown. Let's go down to the big top. Here are the boys.
Makeup. What's he talking about, makeup? There's no makeup on the road here. We're all business, it's all football.
Hey, hang on. Here's your makeup right here.
Never mind that. 7-0 Calgary is the score. This is a team that has lost 2 in a row. They don't want to make it 3. They came out as the aggressors, Schulte. Impressive.
Hey, you know what? I love that first play that Calgary did. That reverse to Mark Boerichter. You know what that means? That means they have the mindset of they're going to go out and make plays happen. Ended up going to score. And then also the play where Alondra Johnson came off the edge. That was a big hit on Jason Moss. Give Moss credit for bouncing back, but it also sent a message. If we can get to your quarterback, we're going to take the shot and try to knock him out there.
Hey, and you talk about sending messages. How big was that first drive? You know, I mean, after a tough loss last Monday, there are critics everywhere, this Calgary Stampeder team, and they come out with 50,000 people ready to pounce on them. They come out, take the crowd out of the game. A big first 7 points, Matt.
Huge for them, but then, Eric, they had an opportunity, a missed opportunity, something that could come back to haunt them. You remember after Edmonton's win last week, players in the locker room pointing fingers at one another? Well, they were pointing fingers about the drive, the defense. Well, right there, the offense missed a golden opportunity, and 4 minutes to go, they run a reverse to Boerichter on 2nd and 4, take the ball off the line of scrimmage. Edmonton plays right into their strength and their defensive speed, and they ultimately miss the field goal and don't put any points on the board. Dave, I think that's a golden opportunity missed. That could come back to haunt him.
Yeah, Mark McLaughlin actually came into this game having hit on 80% of his field goals, second best in the CFL, so that is a key thing. What else is key is that we get to watch from the sidelines. You get a different perspective down here, don't you, Schulte? It's a way different ball game. All right, well, we're going to put all our powder puffs away and send it right back upstairs for the second quarter. 7-0 Calgary. Let's get you back upstairs to John and Glenn. Take it away, boys.
I think Dave Randorf needs a little more eyeshadow.
It could be. Schulte a little more lip gloss, and I think they'll be great by halftime.
We have had some
Couple
fun.
of touch-ups.
We have had some fun here in Edmonton. Signing some autographs yesterday at one of the shopping centers, one of the IGAs. It was tremendous. And well, tons of kids out.
Brian Hall, the voice of the Edmonton Eskimos, has a gathering every week at the IGA called Hot Dogs with Halsey.
Yeah.
So yesterday there were 3 extra hot dogs out there.
Well, the over-under for hot dogs for Schulte was 30. What do you think we ended up with?
A few more. Sankey on 2nd and 5.
Uh-oh. That was close to a face mask.
And he's very, very close to the first down as he scrambled well. Spilled a little coffee here. You better take over on the stats.
You clean up over there, and I'll take over on the stats. Passing yards down for Edmonton, but they have nice balance in the run and the passing game. And you see Calgary. Ben Sankey looks comfortable passing the football. 92 yards throwing it in the first quarter. He had a good week of practice.
Well, the Stampeders come up a yard shy, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
And remember, Ben Sankey started the season. He had won the starting job coming out of training camp, and then hurt his thumb in the throwing hand. That's why Marcus Crandall took over, but Crandall was hurt when Fred Perry tackled him on Monday. And that's why Sankey gets the start tonight.
Now, Sankey got into the game last week and tossed a couple of touchdowns, kept Calgary close, but we talked about the drive earlier, and the Eskimos roared back with 57 yards to set up a field goal on the final drive of the game, and Fleming nailed it with zeros on the clock for a 1-point win. Typical.
Was it a great game?
Calgary Edmonton football, but it's been tough on Wally Buono this season. So they add a couple of ticks to the clock. That's the 20-second clock, obviously. O'Mani. Darren Hall, who was a Stampeder until Tuesday. The Eskimos plucked him off the practice roster then because of an injury to Donnie Ashley, and they'd run out of returners. So Darren Hall is an Eskimo tonight for the first time. It's Wendy's Friday Night Football.
Play Safeway.
It's a great night in Edmonton. They usually sell out Commonwealth for the rematch. We'll have highlights of this and everything else on Sports Center tonight with Retta and Price. How about David Moreland today?
Hey, he's one of ours, isn't he?
He's from Aurora, Ontario.
63 time of course record. It's nice.
A few nice shots there. We'll have highlights with the boys when we're done with football at Commonwealth.
We didn't let the cat out of the bag there with little Scoop, did we?
Oh, no. I think it has been reported. On first down, Edmonton. Ronald Williams off the left side for 4 yards behind Beaton and Val St. Germain.
Well, if you want to try and tackle Ronald Williams, this is kind of what you'll see. You got to slide over. You got to get over there quicker now, because Ron Williams will blow by you if you don't get there faster than that. That's up close and personal to Joe Fleming and Ron Williams.
Gain is 4, 2nd and 6. For the Eskimos, still trying to hit the scoreboard. Stampeders scored on their opening drive, and that's all we've got up on the board so far. Flags are down. Hervey was the target, and Moss missed. We'll check the infraction. Wally Buono has lost 2 games this season by a single point, as the Stampeders' record has slipped to 3-6, tied with Saskatchewan for last in the West.
Edmonton number 56, decline, 3rd down.
George Hudson getting the holding call. Hudson will come into the game, as will Leo Groenwagen and Tim Baker. They'll rotate through the guard position for Edmonton. He gets called on the holding, Hudson does, and the Eskimos will have to punt the football.
Antonio Warren is deep for the Stampeders, moving up from his 40. Almost up to the 50-yard line. Now he backtracks a bit. Fleming sails it high, and Warren. Little stutter step across the 45. Eskimos swarm him and wrap him up right there. 1st and 10 Stampeders when we return. That was a 4-yard return. Calgary on top on Wendy's Friday Night Football.
City of Champions? Since when? You're so lame. Your biggest attraction is a mall. Woohoo! Pack your bags, honey. We're going to Edmonton. They's got themselves a mall. Woohoo! Even your football team sucks. The Eskimos? If you didn't get hammered by the Stamps twice a year, we wouldn't even know you existed.
CFL, the rivalry lives on.
Your mall sucks.
On the Eskimo sidelines, Fred Perry a little shaken up, Ken.
Yes, he is, John. Fred Perry, obviously a big part of that win the other night in Calgary, defensive end with the Eskimos. Right now, he's out. He's missed the last few plays because of a shoulder injury. I was talking to the Eskimos trainer. They're going to just let him sit, just take it easy for a while, and they'll reassess it, and hopefully he'll be back in the game. But obviously, a big part of that Eskimo defense, and he's on the sidelines right now. Guys, back to you.
Marcus Crandall will remember Fred Perry. Here's Sankey looking deep. He's got 2 receivers in the area, both well covered by Eskimos.
Well, what a signing Fred Perry has been for the Edmonton Eskimos. He was a Toronto Argonaut last year, and of course Edmonton had to find a defensive player on the line that could replace Melvin Hunter. Melvin Hunter stepped into the coaching ranks, and there he is. So he's helping out on defense and coaching the defensive line, and they had to find a guy to replace him, and they found him in Fred Perry.
Ben Sankey 5 of 6, so that was his first incompletion. He has 92 yards passing and another strike there. It'll go for a first down. Camu Peterson made the catch, number 86, and he's got 12 yards.
Terry Ray came on the blitz, but it was well picked up by the Calgary offensive line. Look at him right there, and he hits it on the fly coming downhill. But watch that offensive line just slide protection, it's called, to the right. And all they do is really everyone on that offensive line, all 5 of them, slide to the right and try and take all the gaps. Yeah. And they did it well on that last play.
From the Eskimo 49, another Stampeder first down. Here's Kelvin Anderson trying to turn the corner. Needed 1 block, but he still grabbed about 4 yards. Cordell Taylor made the tackle.
Well, watch Singor Mobley, number 27. He steps up, gets caught right in the mix in here, and watch him come out. Now he's got to get a bad angle. Bo Richter spots him, and here comes Mobley. Just sneaks in behind the block of Mark Bo Richter.
George Cortez liking what he's seen from his offensive scheme so far tonight. Anderson picked up 6. This is 2nd and 4. And Anderson will have the first down.
That's option 1. It's that same formation for the Calgary Stampeders. 3 receivers close to the line of scrimmage right there. See the bunch? Option 1 is to Kelvin Anderson. Option 2 is the reverse. You see when you run the play, Travis Moore is going to be up at the top. There he goes. Actually, it's Tunkara this time. There's the reverse option, and Sankey can keep it and throw. They had a ton of success with it, although they didn't win the game on Monday. They had success with that formation.
Good start for Sankey. 6 of 7 for 104 yards, and we're just nicely into the second quarter. Another Calgary first down. Sankey has a target wide open far side.
See, John, Singor Mobley was the guy who had to leave the interior of that line to go out there and cover Scott Regenbald. But because Sankey doesn't throw it very often to Regenbald, coming into this game, he had just 3 catches. He didn't go out far enough. He really didn't pay much attention to him. See, here, he's the adjuster at the top here, right here. Now see him walk out, but he's not going to walk out because he doesn't think they're going to throw it out there to him.
Gain of 16 for Regenbald. And the connection from Sankey. Little swing pass to Anderson out of the backfield. Tight roping down the line, and he's got the touchdown. Kelvin Anderson, a couple of TDs tonight. Coming into the game, he only had 1 rushing touchdown and 1 receiving touchdown. Tonight, he's got 1 of each.
Did he accelerate after he caught that football? Just gets outside containment, and watch the acceleration down the sideline. Frederick Lewis, now did he go out of bounds?
Well, no, he's not out.
He's nowhere near.
The signal of touchdown came in the corner down there, so definitely he stayed in bounds.
Well, they looked like they were discussing it for a second.
See, who was saying he was out of bounds? The Eskimos.
Yeah, well, no question they're going to give it a shot. But what acceleration from Kelvin Anderson when he took that football. He just outran all the angles from the Edmonton Eskimo tacklers.
22-yard touchdown for Kelvin Anderson. So the Stampeders get a hot start on the turf at Commonwealth after losing the Labor Day game. High snap, and McLaughlin puts that one through. He missed a field goal earlier, but watch Kelvin run. Here's Anderson into the end zone for the Stampeders' 14-0 lead on Wendy's Friday Night Football.
By Camu Peterson right here, the receiver, to make the block he needs to on Frederick Lewis. The only way the Edmonton Eskimos are going to stop this play if Lewis can come out of that break and come up and make the tackle, or if pursuit can run down Kelvin Anderson.
Boy, he looked quick though, didn't he?
He really did. He accelerated straight to that end zone.
Couple of touchdowns for Kelvin Anderson tonight, and that's what the Stampeders lead by, 14-0. Darren Hall for Edmonton. He breaks through to the 55, still going. Chance here, cut from behind. That's Camu Peterson grabbing Hall from behind, or he might have had more yards or even found the end zone. Great return of 48 yards.
Yeah, Camu Peterson just saved the touchdown, and it was great pursuit from the backside. Nice run from Darren Hall, who has it set up beautifully. He's not touched, but look at the hustle from 86 Camu Peterson that came from a long way back. He doesn't make that tackle, and I believe Hall scores.
Watch Jake Ireland. Well, we missed it there, but Jake took a little tumble. The referee went down on that play, too, from the shotgun. Nealon Green is in at quarterback for the Eskimos. The touchdown toss. Flags are down. And Herbie was the target. And Nealon Green just missed him.
Well, Herbie tried to put the brakes on, and he went down. See Herbie, number 81, on Anthony Pryor right down the side. Watch him slam on the brakes right there, and that's where the interference happened. Anthony Pryor hit him in the back of the legs and knocked him down.
Did you like the call?
Forward pass interference. Calgary, number 37.
I just looked at it quickly.
To me,
Herbie
John,
stopped and he ran into him.
Yeah, to me, John, it looked more like unintentional contact.
Yeah, well, that's... I mean, watch Herbie stops here.
Unintentional pass interference, although Anthony Pryor did not look back to the football and put his hands up.
Here the old DB getting older by the day, and there's the Eskimos touchdown, Ronald Williams. From a yard out, big plays, Eskimos are right back in it.
How about that drive for Edmonton? Obviously, they needed it desperately, and Tom Higgins kind of goes southpaw on the Calgary defense, throwing Nealon Green in for a series.
Now, did he throw him in for a series, or was Jason Moss slightly shaken up from being hit earlier in the game, because he limped off the field at one point, then came right back? So I don't know if it's an injury situation or a little strategy session on the Eskimo bench. Here's the touchdown. It's Ronald Williams, up, and away.
On Anthony Pryor, it's no question it was interference. The question was it unintentional pass interference or deliberate pass interference? The refs called it deliberate. That put the ball on the 1-yard line, and that put Ron Williams in the end zone.
Well, he's keeping score, isn't he? 2, that's 2 touchdowns. Antonio Warren looking for room for Calgary, and another seam opens up. He gets around the kicker, and Warren has an opportunity here, needs a block, and he needs some steam. Inside the 20, oh, he's dropped at the 15. That would have been fun. France Clarkson caught up to him. Did he run out of gas?
That's why you never quit. Antonio Warren hesitated at the point of attack. That opened up some blocking up front. Watch the hesitation when he takes the football right about here. Hesitates for a second, sees things open up, and then accelerates.
That was Fleming diving for him, and another Eskimo miss there, too. That was Simon Buffo.
Clarkson saved the touchdown, just like Camu Peterson did it the other way. Now, Edmonton capitalized when they had their big return. Can Calgary do it this time?
89 yards for Antonio Warren. First down for the Stampeders inside the 15. Kelvin Anderson is inside the 10 to about the 9.
Antonio Warren has had some time in the backfield for Calgary this year, but he takes great pride in the special teams and his responsibility in those special teams, returning the football.
No matter how good Warren might be in the backfield, Kelvin Anderson doesn't like to share much time back there, does he? He likes to be in every play.
No running back does.
And another sensational season for Anderson, averaging 5.7 yards a carry, picked up 4 in the previous. This is 2nd and 6. Sankey, the end zone toss. It's deep and too deep for Mark Boerichter, who's in amongst the spectators trying to slow down.
Well, Ben Sankey had time, but he really didn't have an open receiver. Mark Boerichter, way down the field, was not open on that play, covered quite well. Now look at the time that Sankey has, though. That's enough steamboats to get that ball off. The coverage too tight down the field. Ralph Staten, the safety on Mark Boerichter, really forced that ball to be thrown high and way too long out of the end zone.
Mark McLaughlin missed his first from 38, and that could come back to haunt the Stampeders, but 3 here will add to Calgary's lead, and McLaughlin puts it through. Stampeders on top by 10. It's Wendy's Friday Night Football, and it's always a great one this weekend in Edmonton. But he had a pretty good chance at 7 there, didn't he?
Well, again, Matt Dunnigan said it at the end of the first quarter. A couple of missed opportunities already for Calgary. Yes, they have a 10-point lead, but they were down there early, had a chance for a touchdown, didn't score. That time, Antonio Warren, caught by France Clarkson, really saved 4 points because they get the field goal instead of the major.
Mark McLaughlin, as mentioned, missed one earlier. So there's kind of 7 points that the Stampeders had a pretty good lock on and let slip away.
Yeah, and in a game like this, between these two teams, boy, every point's so important.
Darren Hall. This guy's got the Jets fired up again. Oh! He tripped over the 43-yard line, and it's barely marked.
You have to wonder, in the quick turnaround for these two teams, how tired do you get on the special teams? They played not long ago on Monday down in Calgary. And on special teams, your legs can feel pretty heavy on the quick turnaround, and these returners are taking advantage of it.
2 games in 5 days. These two teams go at it like this once every year. Here's Nealon Green for a couple of yards, and here's Ken Chillibeck.
Okay, guys, obviously Tom Higgins is doing what he said he was going to do earlier in the week. He's going to use both quarterbacks. Jason Moss, I just talked to him, despite being shaken up a little earlier. He says he is fine. So Nealon Green is out there because Tom Higgins wants to see what he can do and obviously shake up the defense of the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, Nealon Green brings the ability to run to the outside and stretch those defensive ends. That can open up the middle and isolate Joe Fleming a little bit.
2nd and 7. Green lets it go in a hurry. He'll get the first down. Rick Walters hangs on. He's struggled a little bit.
Yeah, he has, and he'd be the first to admit it. And we talked to him before the game, and he said he's going to have a big game tonight. It's important to him, and he wanted us to say hi to his mom, who just got out of the hospital. So hi to Mrs. Walters, Tanya, and good luck with the recovery.
Rick sent those messages along when we talked to him a little earlier. He has a first down. Ronald Williams. And there's not much running room to the left side.
Well, Nealon Green is going to be the changeup, and Tom Higgins has talked about this for a couple of weeks now, that he wants to play Nealon Green in a couple of series, even if Jason Moss is having some success. Gives the defense a different look, and maybe more importantly, it keeps Nealon Green in tune to the offense. It keeps them on the same page so he doesn't tune out.
But Jason Moss is the declared #1 quarterback and the starter, at least at this stage of this season.
And he'll come back in this game likely before it's over.
2nd and 7. Green scrambling for his life. He won't get to first down territory. Dragged down from behind by Otis Floyd. And the chase was on. Floyd and Joe Fleming got through to force Nealon to the outside.
Well, you have to have some good speed to run down Nealon Green. But this is what he will do when he's in there. And if one thing it will do, it'll tire out the defensive line and linebackers for the Calgary Stampeders. He does that for 3 or 4 series. Watch the speed there by Floyd. He does that for 3 or 4 series and has to run down Nealon Green just like that play there. He's going to start getting tired, and that'll pay off for Edmonton late in the 4th quarter.
Eskimos on 3rd down have Sean Fleming in to try a field goal. It'll be spotted by Crowley at the 47. And this is a miss. Stampeders elect to get it out, and that might have been a misadventure by Antonio Warren. Ill-advised, quite likely, although he slipped at the 4-yard line. He thought he saw a little bit of room after hesitating in the end zone.
Well, and he's got to be tired. You know, he's got to be tired because this is what he did last time he touched the football on a punt return. Right up the middle. Now the Calgary Stampeders only got 3 points out of this big play. Franz Clarkson, the unsung hero so far for Edmonton, if in fact they can come back and win this game.
A little early, don't you think? We've still got 3:42 till halftime.
I'm not declaring anything yet. Don't get me wrong.
I know, I just thought I'd slide that in there. Now look where the Stampeders begin because of an ill-advised return out of the end zone near the 3-yard line. This might help. Travis Moore made the catch. He's out near the 10.
Nothing fancy from Travis Moore. He's working one-on-one with Frederick Lewis. Just turns out, but it's always the speed out of the cut, the acceleration out of the cut. And there's a veteran in Travis Moore against a guy with very little experience in Frederick Lewis.
Travis Moore, the 2nd leading receiver in the CFL with 52 catches coming into this one.
And the rookie on the corner.
Yeah, number 1 is Terry Vaughn with 60, playing for the Eskimos. Calvin Anderson, 2nd and a couple necessary. And this will be an interesting spot, I think, here. Think he has enough? They'll take a closer look. And that's the expression on Wally's face. Well, halftime just around the corner. And guess what these guys are watching? We're up here doing a football game. They're down on the sidelines with the girls.
The boys.
Look at them.
The boys are in town. You can tell the guys who don't get out much on the road. You see Chris Schultz up at the top. We had a reception last night, and we had like maybe, I don't know, 300 sandwiches. Well, he stayed until they were all gone, until he ate them all.
There's Sankey on 1st down for the Stampeders. He escapes, and he's close to another one. We talked about it in the early going about the chess match between George Cortez, the offensive coordinator of the Stamps, and this guy here.
That's Greg Marshall standing up. Maybe a little anxious at this point. Down 10 points in this game.
He's given up a seat to a rookie in the foreground there. I guess because he is nervous. And there's George.
George Cortez asking people to get out of his way.
He likes it on the sidelines.
There's that bunch formation Cortez likes to run.
2nd and 3. It's Calvin Anderson. Nice hole for him. At least enough for the 1st down.
We did talk about it, though, in the opening. Cortez loves to run this bunch formation. He's running all year, but he's adding options to it. There's the first option here. There'll be a reverse option. There's a pass option. We talked about that. Now, the counter for the Edmonton Eskimos is to run the rotation between Terry Ray, Singor Mobley, and Ralph Staten. So we're seeing that chess match evolve. Again, 5 days after the fact on Monday.
On 1st down, Sankey stands in and delivers. Tunkara makes the catch. He had a couple of touchdowns, his first 2 in the CFL last week. I keep saying last week. It was only 4 days ago, Monday.
It was Monday. Well, he's got 7 for 76 and those 2 touchdowns coming in, and he's got to play more tonight. He's in the starting lineup because of the injury to Vince Danielson on Monday. Danielson with a chronic hamstring, so if Tunkara gets a chance to play regularly tonight.
He picked up 11 there for another Stampeder 1st down. Shotgun for Sankey. Open target far side. Cameron Peterson has had a nice night, too. Still on his feet. Peterson finally going down inside the 45 of the Eskimos. Stamps are fired up.
Yeah, and
no doubt about that.
And it's time, John, for Greg Marshall now to start changing things up. You see, now this time it's Terry Ray back here in the safety position. That's Ray. But it's not confusing Sankey now. He picks up Camu Peterson on the read, and Peterson does the rest after the ball, after the fact. Now, Greg Marshall, his next move in this chess game is likely to blitz either Terry Ray, Singor Mobley, or Ralph Staten to get some pressure on Sankey.
Camu Peterson has a 27-yard gain, and there was a little early movement down there. Terry Ray got about a 3-step head start.
And no, Greg Marshall and I are not wired together in the headsets. But that's exactly what he does. He goes with Terry Ray off the blitz. Now, he was offside, it looked like.
Offside. Edmonton number 28. Still first down.
Well, there's Greg Marshall, and this is what he likes to do with the rotation. He's going to put Terry Ray in at the linebacker, and Ralph Staten will line up at safety when they break the huddle. Now this is Terry Ray back here. Terry Ray's going to line up there. There's Mobley. He may be the guy that'll drop back. All three have played safety in their pro career.
Kelvin Anderson, nice cut at the line. Turns the corner. He ran one for a touchdown on a similar play earlier. This time he's inside the 25 for a 14-yard gain.
Well, you know, I shouldn't be surprised with the acceleration from Kelvin Anderson, but when you think about the 5 days between these two games, I mean, the legs of all the players have got to be pretty heavy right now. And Kelvin Anderson, he looks like he is as fresh as game one. I mean, he has got great bounce right now to the outside and tremendous acceleration.
12 carries, 57 yards, and a couple of touchdowns, one on the ground, and a reception for another one. So he has accounted for Calgary's major scoring tonight. It's 17-7, Stamps on top of the Eskimos, with a chance to add more here with 1:05 to go. Good fake by Sankey. Didn't fool everyone. Mobley was there to wrap him up. And Sankey had to surrender. A loss of 6.
John, they're doing the safety dance again. Edmonton Eskimos, remember that? The safety dance?
Oh, yeah. Well, when you're playing 3 guys through that rotation at safety.
Singor Mobley, when he was in Dallas, played both strong and free safety. At strong safety, you come up and do things like that. Hit quarterbacks. At free safety, you're covering. And he can do both. It gives him great flexibility, and it can confuse a young quarterback at times.
Talked about it earlier. Ralph Staten was the starting safety. Terry Ray and Singor Mobley have both dropped back.
Here they come.
Position. And it opens up for Sankey. Here's a chance. Heading to the end zone. One man to beat. Can he turn the corner? He's got a touchdown. Stampeders. He's up over the boards. Spilled a couple of beers down there. It looked like a hockey player going over the boards from the angle we saw it. Now, is he okay?
Yeah, they're bringing the training staff over. He went right over the top. And, of course, if you try to put the brakes on over there on the track, there's a chance you can slide under the table.
Well, we've lost sight of the quarterback, and I don't know that that's ever happened in professional football before.
Well, I don't know how he gets out of this. Singor Mobley and Terry Ray both run straight by him. They were free on the blitz. Sankey slips them, gets up in there, and now he can't put the brakes on. He's on the track, and he has to go up over the top.
Well, he took a shove at the end that was likely unnecessary, wasn't it?
Well, it didn't look like he went down real hard.
And it looked like his fall was broken by a couple of the patrons in the beer parlor down there. Here he comes.
Well, we can watch it on regular speed to see how quickly he went in there. kind of slows down over the top.
Well, he's covered in Coors and Canadian, but I think he's going to be okay.
He looks okay. And remember, Marcus Crandall is not ready to go. He's got the bad shoulder, so Kevin Federick is the backup.
Who happens to be the son of the incoming owner, Michael Federick. Marcus Crandall injured on Monday.
Obviously, Marcus Crandall not ready to play. You can tell by that picture. So they will quickly look at Ben Sankey, make sure he's okay. Kevin Federick obviously took some reps in practice over the last 5 days, but again, short week makes it tough.
You know who else took a few reps in practice this week?
Mr. Moore.
Travis Moore is the emergency quarterback for the Stampeders.
And Travis Moore's going,
oh no,
wait 1 minute. Federick is over there. He jumped up in a hurry. He's over there trying to find out if Ben Sankey's okay. Has not taken a snap all season for Calgary.
Federick's a southpaw, so that'll give the Stampeders a different look, but he seems to be smiling down there, and I think that's a smile of relief that Sankey may be okay, and I really don't want to go into this situation. I mean, everybody wants to play the game plan, but there are certain situations when you're looking at the season and you're looking at the amount of experience you've got that it might be safer to stay on the sidelines.
Well, I think if you're Kevin Federick, you'd like to go in a few snaps when the game's out of hand. Either way, maybe just to get your feet wet a little bit.
No question about that. And I'm not saying he wouldn't want to play.
Yeah.
But this is the Labor Day rematch, and there's a lot on the line for the Stampeders right now. This is Jackson returning for Edmonton. He's out near the 45 with 24 seconds to go. You follow that line of thinking or buy into what I'm saying?
I'm buying if you're selling.
Well, he looks like he's okay. Ben Sankey, and he'll have a little time to rest now after scoring the touchdown and giving Calgary this 24-7 lead. Jason Moss back at the controls for the Eskimos. Long pass, far side. Solid hit on the receiver. Rick Walters made the catch. So a couple for Walters tonight. That's got to make him feel a little bit better. He's struggled in the last couple of games.
Okay, guys, you just talked to Pat Clayton of the Calgary Stampeders training staff, and he said that Ben Sankey is okay. He did bang his knee when he went over into that beer tent. He says the first time he's ever had to look at a player in a beer tent and check him out, but he'll be fine.
Long toss is way over the head of Ed Hervey. He is the Eskimos' deep threat.
We go right back to Jason Moss. Nealon Green, I believe, had 3 series in the first half. Jason Moss comes in now, and that's the changeup that Tom Higgins talked about. Now Calgary defensively, and every team in this league the rest of the way will have to prepare for 2 different styles of quarterback.
8 seconds till halftime. Jason Moss loves the long ball. Likely time for one here. To the end zone. Touchdown! Terry Vaughn. A 50-yard reception for his first catch.
And he waves to Calgary to rub it in a little bit as he heads to the locker room.
Yeah, he's finished.
On the clock.
He's finished. The flag came down after the touchdown. So it'll be an infraction after that, some reaction to it, possibly by the Stampeders.
Jason Moss hails Mary, and she answers to end the half. Buys some time to get to the outside, and watch how Terry Vaughn uses his body to get in perfect position.
Objectionable conduct, taunting, Edmonton number 81, after the touchdown. There'll be a 10-yard penalty on the second half kickoff.
Ed Hervey's called for taunting after the fact. That penalty will be applied on the second half kickoff.
There were no flags anywhere as Vaughn was making the catch, so we knew it was after the fact.
Talk about grabbing some momentum heading in at halftime for Edmonton.
A 10-point game and a great first half. Eskimos are on top 24-14. So a little powder for the panel, and we'll turn it over to them for the halftime show. Here's Terry Vaughn. Here's the touchdown catch.
24. Stamps head coach Wally Buono.
Okay. Wally, just first of all, your assessment of the way that your team played this first half.
Well, again, it's been a great first half. It's just, like I say, very disappointing to have that play happen.
Some big plays on specialty teams, especially this first half.
Well, I think both teams have had some big plays. We had, they have. It's been, so far been a good game.
That last touchdown by the Eskimos, got to make sure it doesn't affect the team in the second half, obviously.
Well, that's something, again, it's, like I say, that's kind of been how our season's been. That's unbelievable that it would even occur.
Wally, thank you.
Schulte talked about it in the pregame. This guy can be a major factor. Kelvin Anderson, 2 touchdowns already. Back with a second half next.
Jason Moss got the Eskimos just a little bit closer on the final play of the opening half. Here's how the quarterbacks stacked up.
Well, Ben Sankey had the good completion percentage. You see 11 of 13. Jason Moss at about 50%. But remember, Nealon Green came in for 3 series, so his numbers are going to be slightly lower. Both quarterbacks, though, have not made the big mistake and thrown the interception.
Entertaining opening half, and they usually are when you come to Edmonton on this weekend. Stampeders and the Eskimos renew it 5 days after the Labor Day Classic.
Well, it's been a little exciting tonight to watch the return game. Quincy Jackson back for Edmonton right now. We've seen Antonio Warren run one back. We've seen Darren Hall for Edmonton break off a big one. So the return game has been fun tonight.
Darren Hall was a Stampeder until yesterday. He was on the practice roster in Calgary. The Eskimos lost Don Ashley in practice on Tuesday, and they needed a little help, so they stole this guy from Calgary and out of Wally Buono's grasp.
243 return yards between the two teams on kickoffs. And here comes another kickoff.
So discussion down there continues.
Well, remember, the penalty to end the first half is assessed right now. So Calgary Stampeders will kick off from the 45-yard line, which should back up Edmonton a little deeper in their own end, except for that return game we just talked about.
Some great ones tonight. A couple have been awfully close to going all the way. McLaughlin has the second half underway. This is Darren Hall again, and he slipped at the 20-yard line. So the Eskimos will start deep in their own zone. Let's go down to Ken Chillibeck with the Eskimos head coach.
Just what do you say to the guys in the half?
Well, there wasn't much to say in the fact that we were spending a little bit of time with Fred Perry. He wants to play. He can't play. He hurt his shoulder, and he's not able to go. What we need to do is settle down. We need to get a couple of 2-and-outs on defense and allow our offense to get an opportunity to start some drives and finish some drives.
That big touchdown at the end, how much of a factor could that be in the second half?
Oh, it's going to definitely be huge. I mean, we're fortunate to be where we're at right now, but we'll take it, and I close the gap ever so slightly, and we're just going to have to dig out of the hole that we created.
Thank you very much. Okay, good luck.
So here's the Eskimos' first down of the second half. It's Walters flanked to the near side. Edmonton beginning at the 20. Ronald Williams had nowhere to go. Alondra Johnson backing up. The running back, who stands number 2 in the CFL, just 50 yards behind Mike Pringle so far this season, but he lost a yard there. Ronald Williams did.
Well, let's take a look at what the running backs have done tonight. Kelvin Anderson looks great. 57 yards in the first half. He's shown tremendous acceleration. Ron Williams banging away. Hasn't been used quite as much with just 7 carries.
Anderson with 2 touchdowns in the first half, one along the ground and one on a 22-yard reception. Walters, another catch. Rick Walters is out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. It'll be an Eskimo first down.
Jason Moss starting the second half. Nealon Green got 3 series in the first half. Moved the ball effectively. And that was the changeup that Tom Higgins told us yesterday that he would do and will do for the remainder of the season.
So Green will watch for the time being.
Let's go, O!
Don't be surprised if he's back on the field. First and 10, Edmonton.
Yeah, we can.
Eskimo 38. Nice fake by Moss, but it didn't fool everybody. Joe Fleming is there. 6th sack of the season for Joe.
Well, Joe Fleming really just working one-on-one, and he's going to take sort of an outside release and then come back. Joe Fleming is right up here. See, he's take that swim move, the big left arm up and over top. That's called a swim move, and Val St. Germain is sort of drowning in the swim move.
The loss is 6. And no one was home. Hervey looking for a call, but it's not coming. He was the closest Eskimo receiver to the ball.
Calgary Stampeders this year, John, have had problems finishing games. They've had problems in the second half and really burying teams. And it looks like they've talked about it, and they're coming back, and they're coming with some pressure. That's James Cotton coming up the middle, and Mike Roach has fired up this defense and said, listen, it's going to be up to us. Roach on the right, and that's Jacques Chapdelaine, the receivers coach, on the left in special teams.
Eskimos did get the ball out to the 30-yard line, but they'll kick it away. High. Punt coming down. Antonio Warren at the 20. Oh, nice move there. He's out to the 40. Nice little 20-yard return for Antonio Warren. Chris Hardy leading the Eskimo tacklers to the ball carrier that time.
Play safe.
Hard run to Kapapa driving a 22-yard catch. First the run. Hard running up the middle, and second, third, and fourth effort. And there's the acceleration on that 22-yard catch.
That was a beauty. Just inbounds. So the Stampeders with a 10-point lead have their hands on the ball for the first time in the second half. Oh, what a catch by Travis Moore.
A.J. Gass is over there arguing that Moore didn't catch the pass. Mark Boerichter told us before the game that if the Edmonton Eskimos continue to come up and show bump and run coverage, in other words, right in the face of the receivers as Frederick Lewis did on that play, they will go deep on him.
Now, I thought he had that, Glenn, but obviously they ruled it no catch.
Well, you'll see here. Oh. I think he had it.
I think it was a catch.
His arm was underneath the football, and it was his arm that hit the ground. I think that's a catch.
Well, it sure looked like it from our vantage point. Second and 10, Sankey in trouble, and wrapped up.
Robert Brown got home. How big was that Travis Moore play?
It would have been a 33-yard gain. What do you think?
Well, here's the sack first from Robert Brown coming off the edge. He's got the one-on-one on Kelvin Anderson, and Kelvin Anderson does what's called the lookout block. Miss him and then turn around and say, look out. But here's the Travis Moore catch. Now, is this a catch?
He has it in his hands.
Okay, but he doesn't have control, but I don't think the ball ever touched the ground.
It didn't.
He had his arm underneath there. Now, we have, obviously, the replay and the benefit of that. The officials looking at it probably didn't think that he had control of the football. But when we look at it again, his arm was on the ground, and that ball was on top of his arm. Now, how tough is it for the official? This is how quick they have to make the decision. The other question is he's very close to the sideline.
Stampeders did not argue it.
Well, you know,
for a long time. I mean, they were not screaming over there. Peterson is the injured Eskimo. So they'll try and patch him up. We'll return.
So what's he like?
Defensive tackle Doug Peterson had to be helped off the field, but he's up and around under his own power right now on the bench.
Doug Peterson told us before the game, I said, how are you feeling? physically, and he said, well, you know, my neck's coming around. And he said, you play in the middle long enough, you're going to have some bumps and bruises.
Yeah, like how should I feel? I play defensive tackle in this league, right?
Exactly.
And the turnaround is awfully quick from Monday to Friday. Good charge on, but O'Malley got him away. Darren Hall to return for Edmonton.
Let's go back one more time to the Travis Moore catch that wasn't.
The phantom reception.
Well, he goes down the sideline. From this angle, you can clearly see. Now, he doesn't have control, but the ball doesn't touch the ground from that angle. The official you will see is right on the spot. He has a little bit of a different angle. I thought he may have been out of bounds, but this angle will show you that he's not close enough to that sideline. So that was not the call. Awful close. I mean, they're right. Yeah, and it's a split second for those officials.
It's a very close call. Now the Eskimos beginning near the 45. Jason Moss near side has Quincy Jackson. Wendy's Friday Night Football continues its tour through the West. Next Friday night, we'll catch up with the Stampeders at McMahon in Calgary against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Boy, that could be a rather interesting game depending on the outcome here tonight.
No question.
Calgary and Saskatchewan currently locked in last spot at 3-6 in the West. So why not drop by and join us for the next Stampeders home game against Saskatchewan and McMahon. There's a number to call, and Ron Rook will likely answer the phone.
He runs the show in Calgary. Well, it's a great crowd here tonight, no question. Everyone having fun in the rematch. In fact, the grand total here tonight, 48,279.
This is back to school night here, and Wally Buono knows every time he comes north to Edmonton for this game, there will be a lot more Eskimo fans in the stands than Stampeders supporters, because it's usually pretty close to full students.
The other thing is they sold 50,000 tickets, so there was some no-shows tonight.
Yeah, probably figured it wasn't going to be much of a game, right?
Bad call.
Jason Moss on 2nd and 5 on the money. Terry Vaughn still going inside the 20-yard line, and he's finally run out by Alondra Johnson. This guy after the catch is great to watch just about every time he makes a reception.
Terry Vaughn is the middle guy. He's just going to come on the crossing pattern all the way across the field. Jason Moss has to have lots of time to throw the football. Now, if you ever want to think about roughing in a game and want to be the umpire, you're standing right in the action. Here you go. Now watch out, though. Watch out, because the football's coming. Look at duck. Okay, we got to duck, let that ball go over your head.
That was pretty good follow by the ump cam, I thought. He swung around and found the end of the play. 41 yards for the Eskimos. And nowhere to run for Ronald Williams. Jason Moss hitting on 61% of his passes.
Well,
offensive player of the week.
But it doesn't look, it looks like he has a little more time, and he can thank Nealon Green in a lot of ways for that time, because Nealon Green in those 3 series, he was running around a little bit. Now that defensive line and linebacking core for Calgary get a little more tired. And then Jason Moss, the drop-back quarterback, comes in, and maybe he has a split second more to throw the football, and that could be the difference.
Calgary defense forcing the Eskimos into a 2nd and 15 situation. Moss looks to the end zone. No! Quincy Jackson was the target. He had his hands on it, but the coverage was pretty tight.
Anthony Pryor timed his jump perfectly. He's just going to run beside Quincy Jackson. See him jam him at the line of scrimmage. They're coming down at you here, and he times his play on the football perfectly. It's all timing when you're going to make that move on the ball. Stay with your composure, keep yourself close, and then time your jump perfectly. He got his hands on it and knocked it out of Jackson's hands. He's been tested tonight, Anthony Pryor.
Sean Fleming missed from 47. Every point now is crucial. This will be spotted at the 31, and Fleming is wide again.
He thinks he made it. Jason Moss thinks he made it. Moss is running all the way down the field to talk to the officials.
Well, we'll take another look because Fleming seems convinced that that one went through. You know, we look back to the final game for the Eskimos last year when Sean Fleming missed a field goal that would have tied it against the BC Lions in the Western semifinal. Well, we can't see if it's through there or not, but yeah, he counted it. No doubt in his mind.
Play $1 million.
And upon further review, Fleming's field goal was high and a little outside. So the Eskimos settle for a single point. It's first down, Calgary. Kelvin Anderson, slight delay, and he has a couple. McLaughlin and Fleming good on only 25% of their attempts tonight. 1 for 4 collectively.
Well, I talked about Calvin Anderson, whether or not he should be fatigued in this game, and you think he should be more. The kickers, like you just mentioned, they shouldn't be tired.
No, why would the kickers be fatigued?
Why would they be tired? Antonio Warren may get a chance to play in the fourth if Calvin Anderson does get a little bit tired.
Of course, Antonio Warren has been rather busy himself on the returns tonight. Sankey looking deep, looking for Bo Richter. Well covered at the last second.
Almost intercepted, John, there by Terry Ray. This time in the safety dance, it was Terry Ray playing free safety. He's going to drop out of there. See number 28 right in the middle of your screen right here. Now he comes out of there, and it's going to be Cordell Taylor who tips it to him. And he just can't react in time. Went right off his shoulder pads. Terry Ray in college has also played some safety.
93.
Oklahoma.
So the Stampeders kick it away. Not bad by Duncan O'Mahony down to Hall at the 30. Another nice one brewing for Hall. Darren Hall still standing as he crosses the 25-yard line. The night of the big return. This is great.
Oh, baby. Darren Hall right along the sideline to take a quick look over there at the Calgary bench and just say to Wally Guano, hey, maybe you should have been playing me. Should have been off that practice roster.
The punt was 43. The return a spectacular 54 yards.
I talked to Tom Higgins yesterday about when he took Ron Williams after Ron Williams was released from Hamilton. Edmonton was going over to play the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Tom Higgins could have taken Ron Williams and signed him before that game, and he decided not to. He didn't make that same decision with Darren Hall.
Well, he was out of returners is what he was, and he had no other choice. Don Ashley went down and practiced. Here's the touchdown toss. Oh! Jackson had it in the end zone, and it was tipped away.
Jason Moss wanted to put the one-on-one isolation over there. Quincy Jackson on Anthony Pryor, and they are testing Anthony Pryor, and right now he's passing with flying colors. That's pretty good recovery because Anthony Pryor was beat on the move.
I thought it was catchable.
I'm not sure, though, that Anthony Pryor didn't get his finger on that football.
Can I look again?
Not right now. We're playing.
Okay. He's had a nice night, Anthony Pryor.
Well, they're going after him, and he's responding. He's over there in the one-on-one battle again at the top of the screen there.
2nd and 10. Moss.
Again, they went after him, this time with Hervey.
And that time, Moss wasn't even close.
Well, that time the throw was behind and low. Ed Hervey had inside position in the one-on-one. This time they take Quincy Jackson out. They put Hervey. Watch him get inside position, meaning he's between the defender and the football.
Yeah, he had his man beat. Moss didn't get him the ball.
This was the play before. A Quincy Jackson on the corner pattern to the outside, and he just gets his hand on the arm of Quincy Jackson to take that left arm out of there.
Fleming put his last one high and wide. Moss will put it down on the 33, and Fleming tries to connect here. That one is right down the heart. 24-18 now. Don't go away. There's a lot of football left at Commonwealth tonight. After the field goal, Stampeders begin at the 35 with Calvin Anderson. Nice run for Anderson. He'll have a first down, 11, maybe 12 yards.
Scott Regenbald made the block to get Calvin Anderson outside, and it was a big block. He maintained it throughout the entire play. He's the key on this play. Number 21 right here. He's going to get outside, and watch how long he maintains this block on Terry Ray right there. 1,000, 2,000. Keep working him. Keep working him. And that gets Calvin Anderson to the outside.
They call it an 11-yard gain. Stampeders at the 46. There's a reversal to throw off this. Travis Moore looking to throw, and he fired it over to the Stampeder bench.
Oh, he saved a huge loss. We wondered about option number 4.
And that was it? It didn't work.
That was option number 4, and it didn't work.
Doug Peterson supplying the pressure here.
Travis Moore is option 2 on the reverse. We saw that on Monday. We've seen it here tonight. This is option 4 out of that formation, but the Edmonton secondary was not fooled. Option 1 up here. Option 2 more this way. Option 3 is when Sankey throws it. Option 4 is now a Travis Moore throw.
And Travis Moore is the emergency quarterback for the Stampeders tonight with Marcus Crandall on the sidelines. On 2nd and 10, Sankey tries to buy a little time. He'll get some. Needs a block. Oh, and he got one. He'll have a first down. Huge block by Jamie Kreisel. Sankey needed that in the worst way, didn't he?
Did you get the license plate of that Kreisdale? Oh, boy. He gets outside. I thought it was Ralph Staten. He's working on Peterson right over here. Now watch when he gets off Doug Peterson. Now watch, okay, he missed that one. Okay, now, oh, my guy's outside. Okay, I'm going to lead block for him. Now, who's down there? Boom!
Oh. Was that Staten he hammered?
Yeah.
Ralph Staten, 38. The gain is 12 for Sankey. Stampeders rolling again. Kelvin Anderson,
what a cut.
again. What a cut is right.
Look how low he gets. He got such a low center of gravity. He can make that cut. The young running backs watching this game tonight, you keep yourself low to the ground, you can cut like this. Watch this cut. He goes to the outside and bam, right back at you. Look how low he is to the center of gravity there. If you're standing up too high, you're going to lose your footing on that kind of cut.
Stampeders have averaged 135 yards rushing on the season. Closing in on that tonight with Calvin Anderson. And again, it's Anderson.
Now they're back to option 1. You see, every time they run that play, Mark Boerichter comes around on the reverse. They fake it to him every time. So this play looks the same to the Edmonton defense, and now we've seen 4 different plays out of this formation. Let's see if we see that same formation again. There they are, the stacked receivers over here. One of them's going to come this way, and you're going to see Calvin Anderson up the middle.
You called it. Enough for the first down. Cortez winning this little chess game.
Well, at
this point.
Yeah, and on Monday, this is right about when Greg Marshall threw in his safety rotation. He's up here at the top. This is about when he threw in that safety rotation. Now, he's been running that all night. What options does he have to go to now to counter what Cortez is doing?
Well, a quarterback keys on the safety, right?
The quarterback always reads the free safety. That will be Terry Ray right now. He's in the middle of that screen. But they can rotate him out of there.
Another Stampeder first down. Sankey had room to go, but he spotted Regenbald. And he's inside the 10.
Tons of time for Ben Sankey to throw the football. Concern, obviously, for Greg Marshall. At some point in this game, he's going to have to send some more pressure. Cortez knows that. And he's waiting. When will he come with the full-out blitz?
Reginbald with a 24-yard gain. Eskimo defense backed up inside the 10. Stampeders are first and goal to go from the 8. Here's Kelvin. 2 touchdowns already, halfway to another one right there.
Greg Marshall, the second half of Monday is when he put this in. There's Staten. He lines up at safety. This is Terry Ray, Singor Mobley. At any time, Staten can come up and cover, and when he does that, they can roll back either Terry Ray or Singor Mobley back into the free safety position. They've been doing it all night, so Staten lines up in the middle now, but where will he end up? That's what Ben Sankey has to find out.
Well, he's handling it a little bit better tonight than he did when he first saw it in relief last week. Sankey on first down, touchdown! Stampeders and another drive. Travis Moore has his touchdown tonight.
Travis Moore riding the horse back there.
It was actually second and goal to go from the 5, and Sankey found Travis Moore.
I think Jamie Crysdale set the tone on this drive with that big hit early on Ralph Staten, because Ben Sankey has had lots of time to throw the football.
Yeah, I didn't do the squad. Push out. Hey, let me come back. Yeah, that's it, Trav.
Mark McLaughlin adds another point to the Stampeder total. It's Calgary 31, Edmonton 18. And Reginbald is involved in a little fracas down there with Terry Ray. Smart Albertans do not wager on this weekend series, do they? You don't bet these two teams on Labor Day and the rematch.
I tell you one thing you can bet on, and if you're down on the goal line, you can bet on this guy finding a way to get open. That's Travis Moore, number 83. Nice little jab step there, a little push off. Ever so subtle on Ralph Staten, and he's wide open.
Nice night for Travis Moore. Big catches earlier, the touchdown reception there.
But, you know, Jamie Crysdale set the tone for the Calgary Stampeders on this drive. An offensive lineman gets out in front of his quarterback after containment is broken down, and he gets outside. Watch big number 67. Watch him lead this way. This is the beginning of this drive. He sets the tone with a little physical play right there on Ralph Staten.
Mobley got blocked out of the play there, too.
And I tell you what, the rest of the way, Ben Sankey had lots of time to throw the football. Offensive line for Calgary starting to make a statement.
Terry Vaughn, one of the Eskimo returners, along with Quincy Jackson after the Stampeder touchdown. This is Vaughn. Smoothly across the 30, but only to about the 33. 13 on the return.
Two old buddies.
Yeah, two great receivers, used to be teammates.
Used to be teammates, in fact, and that's what they've done so far tonight. We just saw the Travis Moore touchdown. 93 for Moore, 91 for Vaughn. He has the one just at the end of the half.
And both guys, Glenn, when you look at their totals, so much the yards after the catch.
No question.
Adding into that, right?
No question. They are very good friends, obviously enemies at this time until that final horn sounds to end the game. But they warmed up together. They actually jogged around the field before the game started.
Terry Vaughn has tied a CFL record with his 7th consecutive 1,000-yard season.
Set by Don Narcisse.
Yeah, Don Narcisse held it. Vaughn couldn't bring in a one-hander there. He did on the drive last week that got the Eskimos the game-winning points. One-handed catch for Vaughn in that desperate last drive in the final 57 seconds.
What a drive it was. You had Ed Hervey. Great composure from Jason Moss. This is play number 1. That's over the middle to Hervey. Greg Frears had a chance at it, but just missed. These are the 2 in a row from Vaughn. That's the one-hander. He had one more after that, and then Moss took off running to set up the field goal.
thought there might have been a little nylon falling to the field there. Vaughn was the target, and the coverage was a little too aggressive.
Well, Vaughn was coming right across the middle. Jason Moss threw it to him.
Forward pass interference. Calgary number 26. First down.
I don't know. He may have had a little bit of the right hand on Terry Vaughn. But you talk about the drive on Monday. Here's the second catch to Vaughn, just so we can finish it off for you. And then this is the run from Jason Moss to set up the field goal. That drive, you know one thing after that drive on Monday. The Edmonton Eskimos may be down, but they will have confidence because of that drive that they can come back.
Well, if he comes up 5 or 6 yards shorter on that run, Jason Moss, you know, Fleming's field goal is definitely not a guarantee at that point. Eskimos have 4 penalty first downs tonight. That's 4 first downs by penalty. Here's Ronald Williams. And he'll have another Edmonton first down. Final play, third quarter, lots more ahead. It's Calgary on top. But don't forget, this is the Labor Day rematch, and anything can happen in the final 15 minutes.
No doubt about that, Wellesley. 31-18. Welcome back, everybody, to our home away from home. Dave Randall, Matt Dunnigan, Eric Zillman, Chris Schultz. Schultz said in the pregame show he was surprised Calgary is 3-6. They do not look like a 3-6 ball team, guys, and Ben Sankey does not look like a guy making his second career start, HC.
No, he doesn't, Dave. He's been very impressive, but he's certainly been helped by the running game, in particular by Kelvin Anderson. When the running game is working, everything else opens up. Now, I want to say something about Kelvin Anderson. This is a guy that has 5 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons rushing in this league. Because of Mike Pringle, he's never gotten or received the notoriety he deserves. But he's a heck of a running back, and he's having a big-time effect on this game.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? This game is far from over. 31-18. The Edmonton Eskimos can get right back in at number 4, Darryl Hall. He has taken Donnie Ashley's place as a kick return. He's doing a great job. One big play from him. Game's going to be right together again. And also, Jason Moss doing a great job going through all his reads. I got to say something about Nealon Green. Standing on the sidelines, he's the first one to come off the sidelines, and he congratulates people, but just not the quarterbacks and the receivers, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, everybody. Nealon Green hasn't copped an attitude. He's a big part of the team there, Matty.
Exactly, and this game is turning out exactly the way we anticipated. The Edmonton Eskimos and the Calgary Stampeders are going toe-to-toe. The crowd's into it. The cheerleaders certainly are. We're having a big time, but it's one blow after another. These are like 2 heavyweights just going at it, not worried about the other guy knocking them out. They're just throwing haymakers, and it's amazing, Dave, back and forth play that we're getting here this evening.
You say it's going exactly the way we expected. I'm afraid only exactly the way you expected. We all took Edmonton tonight. We should learn, boys. Calgary always comes to play in these games, Eric.
Hey, both of these teams are playing to win. This is big-time football, guys.
And Schultz, a key loss for Edmonton. Fred Perry is out with a burner. That's going to hurt Edmonton along the line.
Oh, there's absolutely. And the reason is team speed. If there's one thing the Edmonton Eskimos have, is team speed. You always notice the offensive players, the running backs and the receivers. But one of the reasons is Edmonton's playing great defense is their linebackers, defensive line, defensive backs, they all can run and hit. You have to have that on defense.
All right, let's get back to the action. Send it back up to John and Glenn. Guys.
Quarter to go. 31-18. Calgary leading the Eskimos. Edmonton has the ball. First down at the 40 of Calgary. Jason Moss. They call it a catch. Not quite for Ed Hervey there. Numbers through 3 quarters look like this.
Calgary with the advantage statistically, the advantage in time of possession, and the advantage on the scoreboard. Fred Perry out is a big loss for that Edmonton defense, who've got to be starting to get tired at this point.
Eskimos won on the final play Monday at McMahon. It's Friday at Commonwealth, and we're not saying it's not going to come down to that before it's all over here tonight. With Calgary on top, 31-18. Eskimos hand it right back And Otis Floyd made the play there.
Well, it works in combination defensively because Jason Moss, if he had time to hold on to that football, you're going to see Ron Williams sneak over here and set up the screen. See, he doesn't have time. James Cotton is coming, so he has to throw it right away. If he has time to hold that ball for a split second, Ron Williams can go by Otis Floyd down the field.
Stampeders are getting to Moss. He's only been good on one of his last 7.
Well, do they go back to Nealon Green?
Possibility.
That's the question.
Sean Fleming, tough night. 1 of 3. And this one is a little longer from 42. He's got that one. Actually, a 47-yard field goal for Sean Fleming. So it's a 10-pointer again. Stamps 31, Eskimos 21. Don't go anywhere. Pair end up under the table in a parlor. But the first one in uniform that we've ever seen.
Oh, they're hitting tonight.
Kelvin Anderson there.
Consistent with the game plan, that is Calvin Anderson. Early in the season, actually, all the way up until Monday in the Labor Day game, Calvin Anderson would disappear from this offense in the second half. Not so the last 2 weeks.
He's had a tremendous run in Calgary. Calvin Anderson now in his 6th season. No flags down. Now one comes.
Yeah.
They're looking at Frederick Lewis, number 25, for his coverage. On Travis Moore.
Like Ben Sankey tried to throw the throw behind, it's called, and throw it in behind Travis Moore.
Forward pass interference. Edmonton number 25. First down.
We told you that matchup earlier. Travis Moore on the rookie, Frederick Lewis. And Travis Moore is running deep down the sideline. You're a rookie. It can be a little nerve-wracking.
Kelvin Alexander ran into A.J. Gass after a 5-yard gain. Do you think he's feeling a little more comfortable?
No.
Likely not.
Not at all.
He has a 10-point lead. Now, the Stampeders came up here early this season and had everything under control going into the 4th quarter. And the Eskimos roared back and won game 1. Stampeders had the lead with less than a minute to go on Monday. The Eskimos came back again, so 10 points is not enough.
Okay, now there again, Ben Sankey, John. He sees the safety dance and the safety shift, and he has to call a timeout.
I don't care. You have to stay off.
See, they break the 100. There's Ralph Staten, right? But where's Ralph Staten going to end up? There's Terry Ray right there. There's Singor Mobley.
All 3 can play safety and have tonight.
Now, and you see Sankey saying, wait a minute. The last time I came on the line of scrimmage, it was Terry Ray at safety. So let me go over and make sure I get this right. And there's Greg Marshall. Now in a 10-point game, in a close game here, those timeouts, very, very important down the stretch, and now the Calgary Stampeders don't have one.
Sankey with just 3 incomplete passes tonight. Well, highlights of this and everything else on SportsCenter with Retta and Price. 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Glenn Suter time on the West Coast.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be on the West Coast. I'm going to be here with the gang.
So then you'll be watching it at what time in Alberta?
Well, that would be...
See, these math questions always stump you SFU guys.
That would be 10? No, it's the other way. 12. That'd be 12. I don't know. I'm hanging out with Matt Dunnigan tonight. I don't care what you guys say. back in his old stomping ground.
The guys, been a tough night on the panel on their journey to Edmonton tonight.
Well, you got to be careful. The panel's here, obviously, and we've talked about that. They've been down there right on the sideline, and the eye in the sky may catch you, and I just want to show you, those are the roommates. Look at the difference in height. There's Dave Randorf. He goes about here on Chris Schultz. The two rooming together, and what Chris Schultz, I heard, does is he grabs Randorf and he puts him in the top drawer of the dressers there, and he just gets some extra blankets for him.
Now, how many double burgers did Schultz have tonight from Wendy's? Eric Tillman there, sipping on his Coke.
He had the Biggie Coke, didn't he?
He had the Biggie.
Well, a Biggie game from Ben Sankey so far tonight. Calgary Stampeders, though, have had a problem. They haven't learned how to win games yet with their young quarterbacks.
So here the Stampeders looking at 2nd and 5. Sankey in trouble. He escapes. Chance for the first down. Up and over. He's got it. Inside the 40. Ben Sankey likes to run, doesn't he?
Okay, yeah, a little communications problem going on here at the benches. Referees came down to the sidelines, and apparently the communication system with the Eskimos went down upstairs, so they went and plugged in the Calgary side so they could use it. And, of course, Calgary a little upset about it, so they had to come and explain what's going on to the benches. So that was the delay that was going on here by the officials.
Well, if one of the headsets goes down, the other side has to take one of theirs off. So they have to make sure that's all balanced out.
Those are the rules of the game. Nice little pitch here.
Speed on
Calvin Anderson. He took another hit down there.
Just to track me to get to the outside. Calvin Anderson and Singor Mobley. Here comes the all-out track meet. Can I get to the outside and to the right of your screen? 27 tracking him down. Perry Carter helps out a little bit with the big hit.
Perry Carter was waiting for Kelvin Anderson, but he's over 100 yards now. Rushing with another 20 receiving yards. And he has another first down for the Stampeders.
Here's that bunch formation.
Nice fake by Ben Sankey for a couple of yards, maybe 4.
Johnny got everybody but Singor Mobley. We got the entire Edmonton defense except for Singor Mobley. Look at this. Did it get our umpire? Fake? No. He followed the football very nicely.
We may be able to get him a job on camera. Working some of our games the weeks that he is not working on the CFL fields. Bob Redicott is the umpire tonight, wearing the umpire cam or the ref cam. Nice fake by Sankey again. All kinds of time now. That evaporates, and what a super play by Doug Peterson.
Oh, the Warrior on the warpath up the middle. Remember earlier on that Jamie Crysdale hit on Ralph Staten? You see him right here. Watch the hard work from Doug Peterson in the middle. He doesn't get a lot of the headlines. He's not in the stat sheet a whole bunch. 2 sacks coming into this game. He's constantly double teamed. That's a big play.
That's his 3rd of the season, as you say, and that's the 3rd sack by the Eskimos tonight. 9:43 to go. McLaughlin is in. He missed one early. He missed one late. Boy, missed field goals could really come down to decide this thing before it's over. Stampeders had one more, but they'd rather have had 3. Wally doesn't quite understand, but at least he has the lead. 50,000 on hand here. The rivalry includes the mascots in this Battle of Alberta. It's back to school night, so there's lots of youngsters in the audience. That always makes it fun.
I have got to get myself an igloo cap.
You'd look good in it, no question about it. Jackson made the catch, and he's forced out near the 50-yard line. That's Quincy Jackson from Jason Moss. Kelly
Malvo is the nickel back. He's just in the zone defense, and he sits down on the other receiver on the pattern. I believe that was Ed Hervey. That opens up Quincy Jackson on the outside.
Jackson picks up 13, so the Eskimos are now at the 48. Moss from the shotgun. Here's the heat. Got it away just in time. Ed Hervey hasn't been real busy tonight, but there's a key catch. That's only his second of the evening.
Well, Jason Moss, again, going after Anthony Pryor. It was Pryor who made the tackle on Quincy Jackson in the zone, and Moss was looking to his left the entire way. And that's where Anthony Pryor lines up. Chris Hardy, the backup safety for tonight, is in on offense.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it? When you look at the three safety rotation they've got going, Vaughn went up and couldn't bring it down on 2nd and 4. So Chris Hardy was the starting center for the early part of the season. When they moved to this new 3-safety set with Ray, Staten, and Mobley involved, he lost his starting job.
Rob Herod was hurt in the first half and is out of the game, so that's why Hardy is in there as a receiver. They're using everybody in this situation, obviously, and Hardy has, well, a lot of experience playing just about every position, a former quarterback, as a matter of fact, in college, so he's fitting in there right now and getting a good workout, obviously.
Antonio Warren deep for the Stampeders. Fleming puts it up. Inside the 10, it's Antonio Warren. And Hardy was one of the special teams tacklers downfield to help slow that down. Roger Reinson makes the tackle. 8:07 to go. Still a lot on the line here in Edmonton. Canada's choice for sporting goods.
Well, big night for 3 Calgary Stampeders. 2 on offense, Calvin Anderson, Ben Sankey. And how about Joe Fleming? He's doing his thing in the middle of that defense.
Well, he is, but Sean isn't. The kickers are having a nightmare night. First down for Calvin Anderson. Another carry. Stampeders starting deep in their zone after a pretty good punt by Sean Fleming. 7:49 to go. This one is not out of reach for the Edmonton Eskimos. And wherever Stampeder fans are looking in tonight, I'm sure they're sitting on the edge of the couches out there, including Ryan Moyer, who's a big Calgary fan, and celebrating his 12th birthday today. So happy birthday, Ryan. Keep your fingers crossed. Your boys may come through before it's over tonight. Flags are down. Sankey a little too far. Intending that for Camu Peterson.
Flags are down near the line of scrimmage. But Ben Sankey thinks it was holding defense and one of the defensive secondary guys.
Procedure, illegal formation, Calgary number 58, repeat 2nd down.
Thomas Ram, they were in that bunch formation. They've been running it all night, and those are the mistakes that drive Wally Guano nuts, because he simply says, how can we run a formation all night long, and then when we need it most in a very crucial time of the game, not have it right.
It's an 11-point game at 32-21. So the Eskimos are a couple of touchdowns away from taking the lead. 1 touchdown, a 2-point convert, and a field goal might also work to get Edmonton even.
Now, John, with the return game, Terry Vaughn is back to return. But with the return game that's been going on tonight, does Duncan O'Mahony go back and give up the safety here in this situation?
Remember, it's 11 points separating these two teams, but the Eskimos will have great field position here. Well, he won't give it up. He'll try and keep it away. From the return of Terry Vaughn, and he misplayed it, so things work out not badly for Calgary if they can get Vaughn to the turf. Now, is there a flag down in the area? Eskimos have had their way with the Stampeders in the last 5 encounters, including Labor Day. But looking back, it's been a while between Calgary victories over the guys in green and gold.
Well, and you know, this game is far from over. But with the way the Calgary Stampeders have come out, played very aggressive football tonight, you get the sense that they've said, enough is enough.
Well, that's what they've said. They just have to back it up and take it all the way down to zeros on the clock. Stampeders a little too aggressive on the coverage there, so Edmonton takes over at the 50.
Chris Hardy still in the game as a receiver.
1st and 10 for Jason Moss. Looking deep, looking for Vaughn. Intercepted. First of the night. Picked off by William Fields.
The ball is way underthrown from Jason Moss. And I believe he had Chris Hardy open on the sideline, but Hardy is not one of the guys that you know Jason Moss is going to look to.
He's looking to his go-to guy, and that's Terry Vaughn.
See a little pressure on Moss, but that ball never had a chance. Wobbling through the air, and Fields took advantage of it.
Nice move by Fields to react to the ball, come up with the interception, and get it right back in Calgary's hands. 6:26 to go. Stampeders have the 11-point lead, and they have Kelvin Anderson to run the ball, which is a comforting thought most nights, is it not? Oh, actually, that's Antonio Warren. Correction there.
Well, it's comforting to have both, and it's comforting to have the depth.
It is.
You know, now you can give Calvin Anderson a little bit of a rest. It's kind of like in basketball, you know, when Michael Jordan played for the Chicago Bulls, and he would play at the beginning, he'd keep the team in it, then they'd rest him right around 3rd quarter, beginning of the 4th, and then throw him in there to finish it off, and that's what they'll do with Calvin Anderson.
Couple of touchdowns for Anderson tonight. And a rest for a while as Antonio Warren gets it again, and he'll be short of the 1st down with a 3-yard gain.
But you got to look at the decision, and sometimes, you know, coaches get second-guessed. But look at the decision for Wally Guano. Duncan O'Mahony punched the football, then they get the turnover, so they don't give up the 2 points, which they could have in that situation. Now they got that field position back because of the turnover.
Yeah, and the 2 points would have made it a 9-point game, so now you're looking at a touchdown and a field goal, and you lose. If you can't add something in the final 5 minutes and 30 seconds somehow. O'Mahony tries to keep it away from Vaughn. He's over to make the catch at the 10. Away from 1, 2, and finally 3 Stampeders surround him and bring Terry Vaughn to the turf. The return, though, is 19 yards. Bell Canadian Open continues on CTV tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock Eastern. 3rd round coverage, so join us for that. We look forward to it. How about David Moreland with a course record 63 today. Tiger is 2 off the pace. It's going to be a great finish. Saturday, Sunday at the Bell Canadian Open, live from Montreal.
63, and he's 7 off the pace, is he?
Yeah. Course record, he's 2 under, but he had the 63, so that's a great day. Jason Moss will have to throw on the run and won't get it away.
Well, you know, Jason Moss is playing a man down, and that's no slight against Chris Hardy, but Chris Hardy's played defense his career. Now he's in there trying to learn the offense, and you know that the other receivers are trying to help him. He comes in as the extra receiver. Now, with Donnie Ashley hurt, not dressed for this game, Darren Hall, who's a little bit banged up on the bench, Darren Hall doesn't know the offense. And after that first half of returns, he has not come back.
Well, he was on the practice roster in Calgary, as we told you earlier. And he likely was a little less than game ready. Flags are down. game ready to come into a situation like this.
You know what? Ed Hervey just lost his composure on the sidelines. Going to cost his team some field position. I believe Joe Barnes on this play was going to get called for pass interference. Hervey turned around and kind of banged Joe Barnes after the fact, and another flag came down. There they are right there, coming to the sideline. Now, the interference happened just before that. You see Hervey upset. Now watch the bang right there, and the flag comes out again.
Forward pass interference, Calgary number 30. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Edmonton number 81. After the play, first down.
Good eye, you saw it perfectly. 32-21 is the score, 4:25 the time remaining.
Composure, composure. Composure from a veteran. That headbutt just cost his team some valuable yardage.
Yeah, it's second down and 12 to go after a loss of 2 when all things were factored in there. So the Eskimos sitting in a little tougher spot all of a sudden. Trailing by 11 and facing, well, hang on, they're moving the sticks here now. So they call it 1st and 10. Jason Moss slips and then escapes. He'll get the first down with another yard. Yes. Should be very close to it. Tough running for Jason Moss, who ran for 23 yards on one play on Monday and set up the victory for his Eskimos.
Well, you gotta love watching these young quarterbacks compete. Jason Moss did not think once about hook sliding. He needed that first down and he knew it. He thought he might get a late hit after the fact, but look at him fight for the extra yards. He thought that was the late one right there over the top. Both him and Ben Sankey are competing right now.
Stampeders are winning the rushing derby here at Commonwealth tonight, however. Just over 3 to go, first down. Terry Vaughn, he's the guy. He's the man in Edmonton, always reliable. 3 straight games over 100 yards.
Terry Vaughn made that catch look easy, but I guarantee you it wasn't. He's going to sneak out here, and that ball is thrown right behind him. He had to turn around, pick it up the other side, the opposite side to where he was turning when he first turned on that cut. Made it look easy.
Vaughn is over 1,000 yards on the season so far. And for Edmonton, this is just the 9th game. 10 to 9. Tight coverage there. No catch either. Jackson was the target. Quincy Jackson. And couldn't bring it home. You're going to hang around? We got 3 minutes to go.
I'm not going anywhere.
Labor Day to the following Friday don't happen very often, but occasionally, like last year, they do.
Yeah, in the 90s, just 2 for Calgary, 95, 98. Last year for Edmonton, and to start the 90s, 1990, Edmonton swept the series as well. It's tough to do at any time, let alone this matchup.
Eskimos need 2 touchdowns for the win. Is Williams, Ronald Williams, big catch there to get inside the 30, so they're on their way for touchdown number 1, but still trailing by 11 points.
That was a mistake by the Calgary Stampeders. Watch Ron Williams here just kind of walk out, and he has nobody covering him. He walks out there, look at this, little jab step, and there is absolutely not a Calgary Stampeder around except for Greg Frers, and he's 15 yards away.
19-yard gain. Moss from the shotgun. Looks to the far side. He's got his man. And Hervey makes another catch.
Shows the development of Jason Moss. You see Hervey just sit over there on the sideline, but the snap of on the snap of the football, Jason Moss looked to his left the entire time. I believe the play side was going to go to his left, and then he went all the way back to the back side of the play to find Ed Hervey. You just have to play a few more years as a quarterback to be able to do that.
Hervey picked up 8, 2nd and 2 Eskimos. Threatening to get to the end zone here from near the 22. Ronald Williams has 4. 2:17 to go.
This is where Chris Hardy comes into the game, and Big Sean Daniels comes out. Now, Ron Williams had a run from about this distance for a touchdown. Now, Chris Hardy comes in as a receiver, and he just turns around because Quincy Jackson has to tell him what pattern to run. 9 plays already on this drive.
Jason Moss looking for the touchdown. Vaughn has it. Eskimos are not done yet. (32-27). Are you thinking 2-point convert here? You're not answering me.
I'm doing the math, and you know how I am with that. Look at Jason Moss. Is the new crop of quarterbacks arriving? Is it just me?
Well, here's what you've got in Edmonton.
Sankey, Jason Moss.
Yeah, and in Edmonton, there are 3 guys who can play this game. We've seen Jason Moss play well. Nealon Green has had his moments. And number 3 on the Eskimos chart is Dan Crowley, who's won games in this league.
Going for 2.
So you've made up your mind.
Yeah.
They're going for 2. Moss looking for 2. Won't get it.
Well, it makes sense.
Well, they're 5 points back, so now they need a touchdown.
Need a touchdown either
Calgary.
way. If you go for the single, you still need a touchdown.
Yeah, no, I mean, you take the 2 points, and now a field goal can tie it for you if you make the 2. However, the 2-point play here.
Well covered.
And there was heat, too.
Londra Johnson got his hand on that football, I believe, as Jason Moss tried to throw it. You know they're going to Terry Vaughn, trying to run a little rub play. This was the touchdown. Vaughn comes up with it. It's a rub offensively. It's a pick defensively.
Two great receivers, number 1 and number 2 in the CFL standings as it is right now. Terry Vaughn is number 1, Travis Moore right behind, and there's how they stack up tonight.
Remember the yak yards you were talking about, John? Yards after the catch. 56 of the 93 for Moore, 37 of the 120 for Vaughn.
Boy, these 2 guys in the same backfield in Calgary would have been quite a tandem had they stayed together long enough. But Vaughn wanted playing time, and there was a guy by the name of Alan Pitts down there who was...
And the kick went right down the middle.
There was no time to regroup.
See, they're way too shallow back there, your returners. Edmonton decides there's plenty of time with 2 minutes to kick the ball deep, and now they look for their defense to make the big stand.
Well, it's the Eskimo defense trying to get the ball back in a hurry. There's time to score another touchdown without question. And there's the huge play. Anderson nailed by Terry Ray.
Terry Ray played it perfectly in the hole and wrapped up Calvin Anderson. There's Terry Ray right here. Take a good look. This is how you play linebacker. Step up, get square, lower your shoulder, and put the hit right on the running back.
Here is a number for you, Glenn. Sankey, 2 of 4 for 29 yards in the second half. This place is alive now. Second down, 8 to go. Here's the heat. Sankey looking to throw on the run. Penalty flag goes down. There's a flag on the coverage on Aubrey Cummings. Or rather, Travis Moore.
Yeah, it's Moore. Moore was coming all the way across the field, and he went down. But will it be unintentional pass interference or?
Forward pass interference. Edmonton number 38.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter at this stage of things. I mean, they get a first down, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, keep the ball.
It just matters on yardage, the amount of yardage they get out of the first down.
Oh, yeah, I
That's
see
the
that, no
difference.
question, but
Here comes Travis Moore on the crossing pattern. You see him right there. Little push in the back from Ralph Staten. It's a call that has to be made.
It was
Good
subtle.
call.
Yeah, he got caught.
But you had to call that one.
1:34 to go, and the Stampeders have a first down out near the 25. Kelvin Anderson breaks one tackle.
Are they
He's hammered again.
Are they hitting?
A.J. Gass and Shannon Garrett.
That penalty on Ralph Staten, even if Edmonton goes 2 and out, that gave Calgary a bunch of field position. And what it does is it's going to put way more pressure on Jason Moss to bring this team back.
Clock is running, 1:21 to go. A 5-pointer. Stamps on top, 32-27. Broken play, and Moss is sacked. Robert Brown, number 92, got through, so the Stampeders are going to have to kick this one away. 1:07 to go.
Either Kelvin Anderson didn't get the call or Ben Sankey made the wrong one. Kelvin Anderson takes off out of here. That's where Ben Sankey wanted to go. He wanted to turn and give him the football, and he wasn't there for him. Edmonton's going to use their timeout now to stop the clock. Remember, on Monday, Jason Moss had 57 seconds to bring his team back. But on Monday, he needed a field goal to win.
Tonight, he needs a touchdown. So he has to go all the way.
Listen to that crowd.
O'Mani is back. Are the Eskimos coming? You bet they are. Well, they stop now. We'll try and set up a return for Terry Vaughn. Vaughn ran into one of his own blockers, and then 3 Stampeders right at the 45. 11 on the return.
Can he do it again?
6 seconds on the clock. Doesn't get much closer than that, does it? This was the drive on Monday.
Can Jason Moss get it done one more time? 5 days ago, in under a minute, he put 6 plays together to beat the Calgary Stampeders on a field goal with zeros on the clock. That run set up the field goal from Sean Fleming. He's got a chance to do it again.
Well, we remind you, though, that he's down by 5, so a field goal won't do it. Jason Moss has to take the Eskimos to the end zone. My gosh, here's the touchdown run. Can he get there? Yes, yes.
You have got to be kidding me.
Quincy Jackson has the touchdown. The Eskimos have the lead by a point. This place is a little wacky right now.
You have got to be kidding me. What a catch by Quincy Jackson. If you don't like this game, you don't have a pulse.
Now do you go for 2 here?
Now
Edmonton has a 1-point lead. 33-32.
Yes.
35-32 means a field goal can't beat you if the Stampeders, with 45 seconds on the clock, get anywhere near.
They're trying to figure it out right now. Tom Higgins.
Why I always throw the math questions to you.
Yeah, no, you go for 2. Ron Williams is coming in the game, and Tom Higgins doesn't like what he's got out there right now. But he's used his timeout. He can't do anything about it. Ron Williams in the game late. Here comes Chris Hardy to take Sean Daniels out, so they're going with the passing set. And yes, they are going for 2.
Edmonton with a 1-point lead on a 65-yard touchdown by Quincy Jackson. Eskimos on a 2-point convert attempt last time. Missed. Moss this time will miss again. Now you can take this all the way back, Stampeders.
Unbelievable.
And this will count for 2 if he makes it. Away. It's a 2-point advantage or addition to the Stampeders. Can you believe that? What do you William Fields.
The Calgary Stampeders now have a 1-point lead in this game. Oh. Come on.
The scoreboard has given the Stampeders 6 points, but in actual fact, you get 2 because that's what the Eskimos were trying to score.
I don't believe it. So, can we see it again?
Well, let's roll it. We've got friends down there in the van, and they'll replay this for us.
Here's the touchdown.
This is Quincy Jackson, 65 yards. Edmonton has the lead.
That in itself was unbelievable. Here's the 2-point try. And it goes all the way back by William Fields.
110 yards for this 2-point score. Jason Moss was the last Eskimo with a shot, and the Stampeders have the lead 34-33. But hang on, nothing came off the clock, Glenn. There's still 45 seconds to go.
Well, first of all, what a catch by Quincy Jackson. They have been working on Anthony Pryor all game long. Pryor was in good position. Jackson with the tremendous concentration. He goes in for the touchdown. That's 6 points. Now, you go for 2. This is the right call, but just the wrong throw from Jason Moss.
There were 2 Stampeders who actually had a shot at the ball. It goes to William Fields, and he goes 110 yards for 2 points.
And now, John, the Calgary Stampeders get the football back. And now Edmonton will have to try the onside kick because now they're a point down. Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness.
Is Wally having fun here tonight?
Oh, boy.
Sean Fleming, the onside kick. Stampeders, Eskimos, who touched it? Flags everywhere.
Well,
and I didn't see it well enough to say who touched it, so we'll wait for the call.
I thought Ed Hervey was awfully close. But
did it travel 10 yards? I don't think so.
Did the football go the 10 yards required? Here comes the kick from Fleming. I don't think it did. It may not have gone 10 yards, but you see how close Ed Hervey was. I think he touched it.
Illegal kickoff. Edmonton number 11. Ball kicked directly out of bounds. Penalty is declined. First down, Calgary.
So can the Calgary Stampeders kill 45 seconds and hang on here?
They need 1 first down, and they don't have their timeout.
Well, they've got Kelvin Anderson out there, and that's a big help. Or at least available. I actually can't see him in the huddle right now, but
has the worm turned for the Calgary Stampeders on their season?
Well, I thought it hadn't about 30 seconds ago in real time.
Well, you know what? Edmonton can't stop the clock either. They don't have their timeout.
So the Stampeders will play it safe and try and erase 42 seconds. This will be second down.
Well, now they'll use the full 20 because the clock is running down to 35 seconds. And there's nothing the Edmonton Eskimos can do about it.
Oh, did they get enough time off? Well, yes, they did, but barely.
Well, now they have
20 seconds.
Now they have 20, yeah. And they'll have 20 seconds on the clock. So Wally Buono will be able to use the full 20, take that football, and take this win.
There's Wally's daughter. She's a grade 4 teacher here in Edmonton. We asked Wally to join us for a little reception last night. He had to decline because his daughter was in town and he had to take her out for dinner. Buono and the Stampeders had the victory. It wasn't easy, Glenn, by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it wasn't, but that was the Canadian Football League at its very best. Big play after big play. Well, we saw returns. We saw touchdown passes. We saw tremendous catches like this from Quincy Jackson. And we saw an interception that made the difference.
65 yards for Jackson there. The Stampeders go for 2, and the victory. The Eskimos go for 2 in the victory. The Stampeders take it all the way back. It's 110 yards for William Fields, and it's a Calgary victory by the narrowest of margins. A single point.
Play Safeway's